Obviously not, the result that we wanted today, and the thing I was, really disappointed was, in the first half, we had several guys that just weren't ready to play, and the energy and their effort and their enthusiasm for their teammates, it was just not at the level that we need to be successful. And we understand our margins are small, and when we go out there and compete, no matter who it is, we've got to be locked in with the scouting report. Then we got to be locked in with our energy and our effort and our togetherness. Then we'll worry about some of the other things. And in the first half today, we had guys that just no-showed basically. But to their credit, in the second half, I thought some guys kind of got out of their shell a little bit, competed. But I don't want to sound like a broken record and say, well, we didn't quit and we gave it a good run, but we fell short. I'm not about that train. That's not what we want to be. So I've got to do a better job of figuring out how to motivate or play different guys or push different buttons, to get us to play, better early. And next week I told him it's going to be a really difficult week. At Bradley, Drake at home. So this league gives you no breaks, and we're off tomorrow, which is a great thing. We can get away, and then on Monday it's go time again, and I need to have guys ready and locked in, and we'll see where their minds are by Monday.
Some quick questions.
I know there were a lot of maybe other factors today, but would you say, I guess, was it maybe just a sort of hangover, low point from the Valpo game to start off?
I don't know if it was a hangover from the Valpo game, that we got 4 inches of snow, that their girlfriend was mad at them or something. I just, that stuff is, to me, for 2 hours, you've got to focus and understand that we're here to compete. And for whatever reason, we had some guys that weren't locked in, from the get-go. And ultimately, that falls on me. I got to get them ready. I got to get them locked in, play with a great deal of energy. And if they're not, I got to sub them earlier or more often. But we've got to get out of this mode of, we're just going to kind of feel the game out. We're going to just kind of work our way into it. Yeah, if we get behind double digits, we know we can come back. We've proven that. Well, let's be up 12 and make somebody else come back. Let's see if somebody else can come back and try to beat us at the end. So, we got to change our mindset and our approach on how we start these games. And the one thing, and I told the seniors this, you only have 14 more of these guaranteed to play. The clock's ticking. We're 7 weeks we're playing in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. So the clock is ticking. Do you want to waste each week as it goes by, or do you want to prove something and play for something? Because I think on any given night we can beat anybody in this league, and on any given night we can be last and get beat by anybody. Our margins, that's where they are.
Coach, obviously, you'd rather have these close games in the win column, but what has this team learned in the past few games, and how do you kind of move together as a team throughout the season?
Well, I think, the one thing that they recognize is they have to play with a great deal of energy and focus from the start. We have too many lulls where we're just out there kind of feeling the game out. And it really, practice yesterday wasn't great. It was about average. So it starts there. And it starts with a mindset that no matter the opponent, you play to a standard. And today, today, the first half for sure, we were nowhere close to the standard that we need to play.
So, Coach, with a lot of conference games still left and it being a close race, with players like Daughtry coming off the bench and scoring at a high level, playing good defense, and other players as well giving great effort,
do you think that you guys should be able to make this push to try and go back up into the higher rankings as a lot of the conference plays today, and the standings are definitely going to shape over tonight and
Right.
throughout the
No, I mean, I you try not to really forecast ahead where the standings might be. I think if you get looking too far ahead, you're like, well, what if Team A beats Team B, then we can fall into here, and then if Team C beats so you can only control what you can. And 6 games in at 3-3, there's a lot more important things for us to worry about than kind of what's happening out there elsewhere. We need to control the things that we can, and I think the bottom line from the 6 games that we played, the film that I've watched on other teams, I'm 100% confident that we could beat and compete with anybody in this league. But at the same time, if we're not ready to play, we can just as easily finish last. So we've got to decide where our energy, where our focus, what our practice habits are going to be over these next 7 weeks to give us the best chance. I firmly believe that this team's good enough to cut down nets on Sunday in St. Louis. I have no doubt about that. But we got to have that belief and instill that belief and be playing at our best here in 7 weeks to do that.
So kind of with that, I know with all the other conference games today, what are the keys going into the Bradley game, that from today's game?
Well, I think the biggest key, and it's not the only key. The biggest key is, are we going to be ready? What's our mindset going to be? I know that we'll have a great game plan. I know that the coaches will have the right film to show. Obviously we played them once already. Both teams are going to have to make adjustments. But for me, the biggest key is, where is our mindset going to be? You lose 2 in a row. Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Are you woe is me, I didn't make free throws, or I'm not playing as much as I should, or whatever the case might be. Where's our mindset going to be? Is it going to be about you and your selfishness, or are you going to be about the team? And until we get our mindset about the team, we're going to be in trouble.
I realize this isn't something you think about in preparation for a game or the game itself, but take a step back for a few seconds here. The Hall of Fame inductions were last night, and they were introduced. The 5 people were introduced today. I talked to 3 of them. 2 of them live in Terre Haute. One of them I know, John Gartland, and one lives in Dallas, Texas, and all 3 of them enthusiastically, genuinely said that they're following your team, and they follow it any way they can. So how nice is it that you had a rough start during the off season with not knowing who you were going to have, and you put together what looks like a pretty good team, and you've got people following you from all over the country, people who were legends in different eras, different sports, that are following your team. How cool is that?
No, it's a tremendous to feel that support, and to hear you share that about those gentlemen, and obviously congratulations.
And Kelsey too, female.
Yeah, congratulations to all of them that were in the Hall of Fame, and just the support of all the Sycamores. It's when you're out in the community. I was out last night. Shoveling snow in my driveway, and a guy comes by and honks the horn and says, "Hey, go get him tomorrow, coach. We love your team." That support really means the world, and I take great pride because obviously I'm from this area. I want our team to be as successful as possible because I know what that success means, not only to this university but to this community, and that's something I take a great deal of pride in. And it's just so frustrating to me when we have to talk about a team that I coach that has a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of energy, because you got people that are watching here, you got people that are watching all over the country, and we've got to perform better. I take that personally.
Time for a couple more questions.
Yeah, Coach, obviously, you were right there again. Another close loss in conference. And, what are some things you think you need to do better execution-wise down the stretch for this team to turn those results around. You know, obviously, and any given night, like you said, it can be a close game down the stretch like that, especially this upcoming week with two really good teams on the schedule.
Right. Well, going back, one of the things that we've done a better job of, slightly, just to, you look for, small margins in improvement. The last two games, down the stretch, we've taken care of the ball better. Our turnover rate's still a little bit too high, but it's better than what it's been. The quality of shots that we're getting, we're getting, solid shots. Obviously, you missed some free throws on Wednesday night, you missed some free throws Saturday. That happens. What we can't do is put ourselves constantly in those positions. And, we've got to be better, throughout the game, taking advantage of opportunities when we get them. And I think, defensively, we just had way too many breakdowns today on our ball screen coverage. Guys were so worried about getting to their three-point shooters that, we probably gave up 7 or 8 layups. And, we've got to do a much better job in balancing that.
One final question.
So, I guess, what were the biggest takeaways from this, and just is the conference race any sort of distraction?
No. To me, the conference race, I don't get too caught up in the standings. 6 games in, I really, obviously I know what the standings are, but I don't really worry about that. I worry about, is this team getting better? Are we making progress? And right now, I think we're doing some things in the margins better, but I think overall we're just kind of stagnant, and we got to figure out, and it starts with me figuring out to kind of get us over this little bit of a lull, if you will. That's the most important thing to me right now, is kind of get us out of this little lull, this little rut, and get us ready to play a very good Bradley team on Wednesday.